Hi! Last week we saw how to generate an everlasting chord sound with the Elektron Model Cycles. Today, let's see how to use it to generate another very useful sound for ambient music, noise. I've seen people complain about the lack of a dedicated noise machine on the Elektron Model Cycles, but the truth is that not only is it possible to create noise with it, there are even different ways to do so. Firstly, some machines like the snare machine can generate noise depending on the parameters value. So if I go to track 2, where there's a snare machine by default, and make sure the shape parameter is set to 127 and the contour set to 0, which are the default values, and then enable the gate option. If I hit the pad of the track now, it generates almost white noise. Let me increase the volume a bit. So we hear it's white noise plus a tone, which is currently this C5. If I want to get rid of that tone, I can just increase the pitch to the maximum and the color to the maximum as well. So now it's very, very high pitched and we don't hear it that much. If it still disturbs you, you can change the pad's pitch directly by going to function track and setting the pad value to the maximum you can set. And now if I hit the trackpad again, we don't really hear that pitch anymore. If I combine that with the everlasting sound technique I showed you last week, and I encourage you to watch the video if you haven't yet, we can get a white noise sound that we can freely add or remove to the ambient piece. So I will do that real quick. Add the trig here. Increase the length to infinity. And set the chance to first. And now I have that white noise and I can just take it out or bring it in again. Send it to the reverb. Another machine for which this method works well is the metal machine. So if I go on track 3, where there's a metal machine by default, and increase the shape parameter to 127, which is not the default value here, and set the contour to 0 and enable the gate option. If I play the pad now, I hear that I get some kind of noise, although it's quite different from the noise we got from the snare machine. The second technique that will work with all machines is to assign a very fast random LFO to the pitch of the track. So if I go to track 1, where I have a kick machine and place a trig and make it an everlasting sound, real quick. Right, and if now I go to the LFO page, set the wave type or the LFO type to random, the multiplier to 2K, which is the fastest we got, the destination to pitch. Now, as I increase the depth, the pitch will change so rapidly that the sound will become noise. I can keep level data pressed and turn at the same time to increase the value faster. And so now I have the maximum depth value, and we hear that we got some great noise from that kick machine basically. I especially love this technique because you can switch very easily between noise and tones on the same track by changing the LFO speed. So if I decrease the LFO speed here and go to very low values, then I get this kind of bleeping machine sounds. And if I want to come back to noise, I just increase again. And if I go to the 0 value, then I can even hold a tone value and then play with the pitch of that or do whatever I want. That's already it for this second tutorial on how to make ambient music with the Elektron Model Cycles. I hope you found it useful, and if you liked the video, please subscribe and leave a thumbs up. And until next time, stay healthy and make music.